Have you ever looked at an ancient structure and wondered how it was even possible to build? Across China, there are places that continue to challenge everything we think we know about the ancient world. Temples balanced on impossible cliffs, mountains transformed into giant works of art, underground cities of the dead. Some of these wonders were built more than 1,000 years ago, yet many continue to stand against time, earthquakes, wars, and the forces of nature. The most remarkable part is not their age. It is the simple question they leave behind. How? Today, we journey across deserts, mountains, and ancient capitals to explore some of China's most extraordinary wonders. Welcome to Classified Earth. Wangshan Valley. Hidden among the rugged mountains of Jiangxi province lies a place that seems to belong in a fantasy world rather than reality. At first glance, many visitors assume the images must be digitally created. Towering cliffs rise dramatically above deep valleys. Traditional-style buildings cling to the mountainsides. Ancient-looking bridges stretch across vast chasms. And as darkness falls, thousands of glowing red lanterns illuminate the landscape. One of the most visually spectacular destinations in modern China. The name itself translates roughly to Valley of Immortals. Standing here, it is easy to understand why. Furong Ancient Town. Perched dramatically above a roaring waterfall in China's Hunan province, at first glance, it appears impossible. Ancient wooden buildings cling to the edge of towering cliffs, while powerful cascades of water thunder beneath them. The town is built directly alongside a massive waterfall that cuts through the landscape. It is also home to the Tujia people, one of China's oldest ethnic communities. Visitors can still experience local customs that have survived for generations. Walking through Furong feels like stepping between two worlds, one shaped by nature, the other shaped by centuries of human history. Together, they create a destination that seems almost too extraordinary to be real. Leshan Giant Buddha. In Sichuan province, where three rivers meet beneath towering cliffs, an enormous figure has watched over the landscape for more than 12 centuries. Carved directly into a red sandstone cliff, the Leshan Giant Buddha is one of the largest stone statues ever created. Standing over 70 meters tall, the Buddha dwarfs the boats that pass below. Construction began during the Tang dynasty when a monk believed the powerful river currents were causing deadly accidents for passing boats. His solution was ambitious: to carve a giant Buddha into the cliff overlooking the rivers. Decades passed before the project was finally completed. The result remains one of China's most remarkable engineering achievements. Fenghuang Ancient Town. Nestled among the mountains of Hunan province lies a town that seems frozen in time. This remarkable settlement has stood beside the Tuo River for more than 300 years. Traditional wooden houses rise above the water. Ancient stone bridges connect narrow streets. Red lanterns sway gently in the evening breeze, and the surrounding mountains create a breathtaking backdrop that feels almost unreal. Founded during the Qing dynasty, Fenghuang became an important center for trade and cultural exchange. Merchants, travelers, and local communities helped shape the town's unique identity over centuries. Walking through its streets today feels like stepping into another era, but it is the river that gives Fenghuang its distinctive character. Fanjing Mountain. Rising above a sea of clouds in Guizhou province stands one of China's most extraordinary natural landmarks. Fanjing Mountain appears almost mythical. Atop these peaks sit ancient temples that seem impossibly placed. The structures appear suspended between heaven and earth. Clouds often surround the summit, hiding it from view before suddenly revealing it once again. For centuries, the mountain has been an important pilgrimage destination. Reaching the temples requires climbing thousands of steps carved into the mountainside. The journey is challenging, but the reward is unforgettable. Fujian Tulo. Deep within the mountains of southeastern China stand some of the most unusual residential structures ever built. At first glance, they appear almost futuristic, yet many of them are centuries old. These are the Fujian Tulu, massive communal homes constructed primarily by the Hakka people. Unlike traditional villages made up of separate houses, a Tulu functioned as an entire community contained within a single structure. Some were built to house hundreds of people at the same time. Families lived, worked, cooked, stored food, and raised children within the same fortified building. The outer walls were incredibly thick. Small windows limited potential weaknesses. A single main entrance controlled access. Wooden balconies lined multiple floors. Neighbors interacted daily within a shared living environment. The Great Wall of China. It winds across mountains, valleys, deserts, and grasslands like a stone dragon stretching toward the horizon. Yet the Great Wall is far more complex than many people realize. It is not a single wall built at one time. Instead, it represents centuries of construction carried out by multiple dynasties. Together, they formed one of the largest construction projects in human history. Some sections climb steep mountain ridges, others cross remote deserts. The engineering required to adapt the wall to such different landscapes remains remarkable even today. Watchtowers were positioned at strategic points along the route. These towers allowed soldiers to observe the surrounding territory and communicate using smoke signals and fire beacons. Walking along certain sections today can feel surreal. At times, it appears to disappear into the clouds. The wall rises and falls with the natural contours of the mountains. This is the Great Wall of China and the Great Wall on Earth. The Mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang. More than 2,000 years ago, a ruler emerged who would change Chinese history forever. Near the modern city of Xi'an lies one of the most mysterious archaeological sites on Earth, the Mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang. Calling it a tomb barely describes its scale. This is an enormous funerary complex covering many square kilometers, an underground kingdom created for an emperor who believed his power should continue beyond death. The visible burial mound appears as a large hill rising from the landscape, but what lies beneath remains one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Longmen Grottos. Along the banks of a river in Henan province, two limestone cliffs face one another across the water. At first, they appear like ordinary mountains. Then the details begin to emerge. Small caves, stone chambers, ancient carvings, and thousands upon thousands of Buddha statues gazing silently over the landscape. This is the Longmen Grottos, one of the most important collections of Buddhist art in all of China. The largest statues reach heights comparable to multi-story buildings. Yet despite the differences in size, each contributes to a single artistic vision. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. Thousands of towering sandstone pillars rise from the earth like giant stone skyscrapers. Some disappear into the clouds, others stand isolated above dense forests. Rain, wind, and geological forces gradually sculpted the mountains into their present shapes. The result feels almost alien. No matter how many photographs one sees, the reality is often even more impressive. Jiayuguan Pass. At the far western edge of ancient China stands a fortress that once marked the boundary between the known world and the unknown, for travelers, merchants, and soldiers. It was the final gateway before entering the vast deserts of Central Asia. Unlike the Green Hills many people associate with China's famous wall, Jiayuguan exists in a world shaped by isolation and harsh conditions. Built during the Ming Dynasty, the fortress served as one of the empire's most important defensive positions. Its walls, watchtowers, gates, and defensive structures were designed to control movement along the ancient Silk Road. Anyone entering or leaving China through this region would eventually pass through these gates. The fortress became a meeting point between civilizations, a place where cultures, languages, and ideas crossed paths. But life here was not easy. Sandstorms could appear without warning, summer temperatures were extreme, winter brought bitter cold. Yet despite these challenges, the fortress endured. Standing atop the walls today, visitors can look out across the desert and imagine what travelers must have felt centuries ago. Behind them lay the empire. Ahead stretched thousands of kilometers of unknown lands. Mogao Caves. Along the edge of the Gobi Desert lies one of the most extraordinary collections of religious art on Earth. Known as the Mogao Caves, this vast complex contains hundreds of temples carved into cliffs near the ancient Silk Road. For centuries, travelers passing through the desert stopped here to pray, rest, and leave behind artistic contributions. The result was a growing collection of caves unlike anything else in the world, a reminder that some of history's most extraordinary achievements can be found in the most unexpected places. Throughout history, China has built places that continue to challenge imagination. Some were carved into mountains, others were balanced on cliffs. Entire villages were built beside waterfalls. Fortresses guarded the edge of an empire. Ancient towns preserved centuries of tradition, and temples stood where few believed construction was even possible. Every stone tells a story, every mountain holds centuries of history, and every destination reveals another chapter of one of the world's oldest civilizations. Perhaps that is what makes China so fascinating. It is a country where ancient traditions continue to exist beside modern cities.